Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is episode 35 of your Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. As in today's episode, we're going to be going through the offseason, making some big changes as the Chicago Blackhawks unfortunately lost in the first round against the St. Louis Blues. We just weren't able to play the type of hockey we've been used to playing well defensively and stuff like that. And it was kind of a change because we lost Patrick Kane last year and this entire team has practically changed, and that's what we're going to be doing going into this offseason, is making a lot of changes. We're going to have some players kind of leaving us this year, and of course Jonathan Toews. We want to kind of get rid of Ryan Hartman, which will be a big decision I think we should make, is getting rid of his contract, as well as Radulov, getting him off the team as well. Kind of going with a bit of a younger team. That's the plan with this offseason, is to kind of get rid of a lot of the older players, get this team a little bit younger for the next year. I mean, this team, we gotta start looking young, and that's a big thing that on my hand, is that this year's a big draft because we actually have a pick that we can actually choose in the first round, and we have multiple others. So I'm planning on moving up in the draft to get a pretty good forward prospect, which was what we were thinking in the last video, is to maybe go up and trade for one of these guys if it is open for us to maybe go after a Lincoln Eves or a Jorgen Scruder or a Tony Lepsazito, right? One of these guys that can really change up the team for the future of the Chicago Blackhawks, because, I mean, we really don't got anybody. We got fucking Bellamy and then, like, A2 Ratu down the lower ends. Like, Bellamy, that's the only really guy we have, and in the system, we only got Seven Cool, who might turn out to be good, and then we got Ratu and then Kaufman, and then that's really it. We don't got anybody for the future of this Chicago Blackhawks team, and we really got to start focusing on that for this team and getting it better. So that's going to be the main focus of this offseason, is trying to get younger and do some good moves, because we want to be a good playoff team. That's without a doubt, we want to be a good playoff team, but we also want to build for the future of this team, and going after some draft picks this year is going to be our main topic this year, getting some second round picks and doing some little trades here and there. Ryan Hartman's going to be one of the guys that I think we're going to trade to one of the better teams. He has a no trade clause, so we had to trade him to like a championship. So St. Louis Blues, the team that beat us in the first round, won the Stanley Cup this year, so congratulations to the St. Louis Blues. Buffalo, they're picking first overall. They got Pittsburgh, Calgary, LA, New York. So our main focus this year is kind of retooling the team. After kind of just having a rough season, we didn't have the best of season. Jonathan Toews should be retiring this season. Yes, he does. With 1,000 points, what a career for Jonathan Toews. Multiple Stanley Cups, even won one 2 years ago. He's just been a terrific man. He had a great year this year. He did really well with the age he was and the way he was. Also, Sid the Kid has also retired. Not really a kid anymore, but he is retired as a fucking coach, or as a player. So none of our coaches are retired. No other retirees have changed into scouts or anything like that. So yeah, before we jump into the draft, let's take a look at everything else, the stats, and what we need for this team, because we haven't really looked at this. So what do we mainly struggle on this year? Goals for per game. We were one of the lower goal scoring teams. Goals against, we were one of the better teams. Goals for power play, we had one of the better power plays. And penalty kills, we had one of the worst penalty kills. So I think we could tighten up a bit defensively, but I think depth. I mean, you miss a Patrick Kane. You really do. Like, Patrick Kane is your guy that you really build a team around. And now he's gone. It's kind of like James Norris, Adam Ballquist. Congratulations to Ballquist on a ridiculous season he had. But it's definitely a little rough when you look at a player and you're like, yeah, this is like, it's tough to kind of like adapt, is what I'm trying to say. Like, or adapt to not having Patrick Kane on the team. I mean, last year we had like a couple guys that were near 90-point seasons. Debrincat had an 87-point season. Dylan Strome, he had an 89-point season. Timo Meier had a ridiculous good season, 80 points compared to his 68 this year. So it's definitely a change that these guys had to take. And now this year, going into a season where we really don't got as many players as we've had been in the past a little bit, I think it's time to release up some salary cap on our end, getting rid of some players. Now, Dylan Strome is a big free agent, which brings up a topic. Should we sign him or should we get rid of him? $10 million is a lot for a guy that I don't know if it's going to be a real difference maker. So we'll look at that, but I think Christian Fischer I love the guy, but is he going to be a guy that we keep on the team? He's going to be a guy that we play for depth? I don't know. We'll have to figure out what we do with Fisher. Bellamy, he's getting better, and he's only going to get better from here. His shooting category is off the charts. He could play great on that second line, so I'm thinking what we could do is next year do Bellamy, Fisher, and Kirby Dack as our second line, and I think that would be a really good line for us next year. But Ryan Hartman, I feel like he's getting up there. I don't feel like he's going to be that much of an impact. I don't know. Ryan Hartman's kind of a tough decision because no matter which way you put it, you're going to be paying top dollar for free agents and stuff like that. Defensively, we're looking pretty well and pretty cheap defensively. I mean, I don't think we can really make any moves salary cap wise to make this team any cheaper than it already is. So let's head into the the draft day. I mean, we all we can hope for is there are going to be some lucky. So the first overall pick wants to be moved out. Buffalo. They want to trade the first round draft pick and nobody else but for the 15th overall selection there from the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we want that first overall selection. We really want to make this team good and we want to make a smart pick. They want to trade away their picks, so let's offer some good stuff. So we'll trade them a first round draft pick of this year, and then a third and a fourth of next year, and then whatever player they want from our team. So not Hanifin, not Bachquist, not Debrincat, Meier, Lindell. I would be open to trade Lindell. Now, Lindell didn't have the worst season with us, but I feel like we could pick up somebody better and maybe we could trade for somebody that's cheaper than Nessa Lindell. I'm thinking that way. So you guys get a good defenseman. We've done Lindell, but they get a good defenseman. We get that first overall selection. Maybe we even get Christian Fischer off the team for fuck's sakes. You release some salary cap up. Do these guys have Ludberg? Top 4, 78 overall. I would totally take that guy. Not just that, I would take somebody that has a pretty good amount of salary cap that I can maybe play on our lower lineups. Like a Kerfoot Bellows. Good defensively. I mean, he doesn't really fit the team anywhere, which kind of sucks. I mean, they need that depth, though. They really do. Fuck, why do they have so many depth fucking players that they're paying big money for? Tobias Reeder, is he producing that much? Is that in Rochester? Oh, fuck, he did pretty good in the NHL this year. I think we'll give Tobias Reeder a chance. Jujar Carr for that physicality side of his game. I wouldn't mind that, picking him up for a little bit of money. It's not going to be enough to fit that league maximum. I don't think we're going to be able to trade away Fisher. Ludberg, I don't think we'll be able to add to the deal. But let's see how this goes. So first, a third, and a fourth, and then Esa Lindell, which makes them tight better defensively, I think, in my mind. That makes them way better defensively. Henri Jokiharju, I actually would not mind picking him up. You get him on a retained deal, $3.6 million for, I mean, oh, fuck, we're going to have to pay him full. For whatever he wants, right? So, I mean, you could potentially throw a guy after him, because we're saying that we could trade away Christian Fischer, pick up Henri Jokiharju, see how much he wants to sign for, maybe go for another trade later on. So, Esa Lindell, then add another piece to the deal in like a Christian Fischer, see if we could get him off the team in this deal, which makes it perfectly mathematical, which works for me. We could trade away, pick up a third and a fourth from their team. Let's see how this go through. There we go. Perfect. We pick up 2 picks for this year. Henri Jokiharju for some picks. We released up a lot of salary cap so we could go and spend. Henri Jokiharju, if we could sign him back, that's a perfect D-man partner alongside Brian Dumoulin. So, oh, fuck. We'd even get the pick. Ah, shit. Well, fuck. Oh, this game is a cuck. That's what pisses me off. When you're in the fucking trade menu, it doesn't even let you pick. So, I guess Jürgen Schroeder is our guy that we picked up, which I am not complaining at all. That is a really good pick for us. And it was either Lincoln Eves or fucking Jürgen Schroeder. So, with that being said, and that really sucks that pick went by so fast, and we really couldn't do anything about it. I want to see what the 15th kind of pick has to offer for picks up there. Nothing really too special. Nothing that I really want to spend my money on. I mean, unless we can move up to these picks, but I mean, none of them want to trade away any of their picks. So we're just gonna go through the rest of the draft. We got some pretty good picks up there. Just want to quickly. That's Bizito 79, Rene 78. So we got one of the best players out of the draft. Jürgen Schroeder, and then you got Lincoln Eves. And fuck, Buffalo wanted to do it. So don't ask me, guys, that if it was a bullshit trade or whatever. I don't care. They wanted to trade away the pick. We only trade for picks that they want to get rid of. We got rid of 2 guys that we picked up last year, so that releases a lot of salary cap on our table. Ruslan, we need to get that. We need a good goaltender prospect, and that is perfect for the Chicago Blackhawks. Future goaltender for the team, and hopefully we can keep getting some good picks throughout the draft, which is what we're really hoping for in this one, is that we get some Bu Simon, hopefully low elite. He's going to take a long time to develop, but we just need to build up the prospect pool right now. That's what we really need to build up in these next couple of years, is just to kind of build it up, get it back up to what it should have been at for the longest time. That's a really nice pick, medium top 6. Because I mean, at a point in time, we were shitty at picking. Like the past couple of years, we have really just ignored drafting as a whole. And this year, I want to kind of get back on that horse of making drafting a big thing for the Blackhawks, because I mean, drafting is a huge thing. This is going to be a huge team to help this team develop into a championship team for the future, and that's without a doubt. So McKay, we're going to definitely pick Abraham McKay. Definitely a low overall, but hopefully he develops into something. But it's just all about developing a lot of these guys, and that's what we're going to have to do for the future of this team to make it for sure fire a team to be recognized of again. And I mean, that Schroeder guy, that's a fucking hell of a good pickup. We traded away 2 big players to make the Buffalo Sabres a lot deeper, which is what they wanted. I mean, Schroeder would have done that for them, but they made the deal, right? That's not in my control to say, hey, this is not an even deal. They wanted to trade away the pick. They wanted Fisher. They wanted all those guys. They still got a good pick out of it anyways. They still got that first round draft pick. We will pick another goaltender. And the question is, what did they get out of that pick, of our 22nd pick there? I want to see that. They picked Burns. Defensive defenseman, top 4. So they still got a future guy out of the pick, right? So I mean, that's still a big thing right there. So send to pick. I think we already send to pick, but I guess I think I did. I picked and then I did send to the pick. Yeah, we're not really finding anything right now. He's a gem, Randy Marks. Maybe he'll be something. Yeah, sweet. Low elite gem. That's nice to see. So a good thing I was going to keep drafting, because I was about to skip the fucking pick there, but I was like, oh, fuck, might as well. We need a defenseman. Honestly, we really do need a defenseman. Halvac, that would be a nice pick. Low elite, perfect. See, look at that. We're finding all sorts of gems this draft, baby. This draft has been loaded with prospects for the Chicago Blackhawks to build this team for the future. I'm really excited, hoping that a lot of these prospects turn out to be something good for the Blackhawks. I mean, not for a while, but I mean, once they started getting into the team and stuff like that, they're definitely going to be a huge addition to the team, I feel. As we're practically almost done this year's draft. As there we go, that was our last pick, Gene Way. What a loaded draft for the Chicago Blackhawks, as we were able to pick first overall in the draft, picking up a very nice Jorgen Schroeder in the first round of that. So that was a huge pick up there. And now we're looking like a very strong team for the future. I mean, we did do a lot of trades, but we have $31 million. And you just added an elite level future goal scorer to your team. Now, do we sign him this year is going to be a big question in my mind. We could wait until Schroeder later on. We could worry about him later. Anthony Duclair, he's always been a good player for the Chicago Blackhawks, but I feel like we need to move on. He struggled in the playoffs. I feel like we just need to move on from Duclair right now. He's a cheap pickup. How much is he? Yeah, $5 million. He wants more money. I feel like he's just going to be a guy that we get rid of. Dylan Strome, yes, he's going to be a guy that we keep on the team. He's a big player. I feel like Dylan Strome is a very big player for the Chicago Blackhawks, and getting him to another deal is going to be something that's going to be well worth, right? This is going to be a wheel spin for Dylan Strome. $10 million is a lot of money for 8 years. And he wants nothing. He doesn't want no trade clause, no nothing. So I think that fits perfectly for the team. So we will pay him $10.2 million. And then that means Debrincat, we're going to have to pay him big time next year. So that means building the team right now. So Chris Tierney also does not want to sign with the Chicago Blackhawks. So looking like we're going to be getting rid of him. I think Jorgen Schroeder, we're definitely going to be signing him on the team. Because the way that we're going to be going probably is we don't want to put Bellamy and Jürgen Schroeder on the same lineup, so I'm probably gonna do Bellamy works on that second line. So Bellamy, Dak, and then we could get a left winger. So Meier, Strome, and Debrincat can stay together. But I think picking up another big superstar is going to be something that we look to add to the team this year. A2 Ratu, I got to get him to another contract. Hopefully he can jump into the roster this year. Hopefully, because, I mean, we would like him to play on the team this year and make his debut, but we'll have to see how that all plays out. Albrecht, Benson, that's really it there. Bottom six, no, we really don't want to sign any of those guys. Those guys can develop right now. Bachquist, Hanifin, Henri Jokiharju, please don't be expensive. That's actually not that bad. I mean, it's about the same, a little bit less than Esa Lindell. And if we could do a cheap pickup and pick up like a cheap top four defenseman, get a half retained, I would totally do that. And we have the players to do that now. I mean, no trade clause for Henri Jokiharju. I will definitely take that for 3 years at 4.950 for Henri Jokiharju. Brian Dumoulin, I would like to sign you to another deal as well. So 2.4 for Brian Dumoulin. Stephen Cole, Quinville, yeah, that's it for that. We could sign a few of those depth defensemen might as well. Oh, I don't want to, I didn't mean to buy out anybody, but I accidentally did. Fuck me. That's more than my buyout penalty. That's fucking fantastic. We already have 2 million stacked up upon there, and that could be a great top six defenseman or something, but no. God damn it. Edgar Kavanaugh, we could sign you back to another deal. That's cheap for a pretty good backup. I mean, he was decent in his first year, but not the greatest. Hopefully, he could keep stepping it up for your Chicago Blackhawks. And then Preveze and Toivo or Tommy Teravainen, as he's developing very nicely. And we're looking pretty good prospect-wise. I'm really happy about that. But Henri Jokiharju, he's deciding that he wants to re-sign with the Chicago Blackhawks. Dylan Strome. So really nothing that we have to worry about Dylan Strome for a contract. That's awesome. And we got Henri Jokiharju on a pretty cheap deal as well. So we have $15 million left in salary cap to sign third and fourth liners and to kind of build out the squad. So that is looking pretty rough. I think, yeah. Okay, so what do we got? So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, I mean, you can make it work. I mean, Dak and Timo Meier, that runs into a problem of these two guys being both power forwards and not wanting them to play on the same line. But then if we ever do, we're going to have to because, I mean, yeah, I think that's a big problem that we're going to be running into this year. I think we might have to trade away Kirby Dak because of the fact that we're already running into a problem where we have two big power forwards, right? And then we got two big snipers. We need a playmaker. Right? We have Debrincat. I mean, we could split up Debrincat and Strome. You could put Strome, Dak, and Bellamy, Debrincat, or Strome, Timo Meier, and fucking Schroeder, and then Debrincat, Dak, and Bellamy could work. I mean, we could totally go with that way. It could work. We'll figure this out. It's going to be a lot of troubleshooting. Because, I mean, Debrincat's kind of like a playmaker, and we know that for a guarantee that he's practically like a playmaker, and we know that. And I don't know. That's a big decision we're going to have to make here as a team. Is either we go after somebody that's an all-star, maybe we trade away. We want to keep Dylan Strome because we just signed him to a new deal. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we didn't really give him any contract. Debrincat's, he's a year away from his contract extension. Do you really want to keep him on the team and try to fucking sign him to that big contract extension that you know he's going to want? I don't know. That's a big decision we're going to have to make as a team. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I don't know. I mean, Trevecca has been loving Debrincat, Hartman, and Skjei, so that's going to be some tough decisions we're going to have to make with Trevecca as he's our head coach. So I don't know. This is going to be a very tough free agency, I feel, because this is going to be a big one where we want to change the team up a bit, and I feel like Kirby Dak can give us that little bit of energy. And I feel it because I love the Debrincat Strome. I love those two guys together. They've always been great, and they were great this year, and I feel like they could be great again. But we need to give us some salary cap to be able to make a move like that in free agency, right? So Dak is going to be a guy that we open up to trade away. 7.1 for a guy that, I mean, he doesn't always do. I mean, he does pretty great, but is he worth 7.1? I don't know. I think we could definitely look for maybe even a playmaker, someone that has some speed for the team a little bit. So let's take a look at free agency. We'll see what we got. As we got Eli Talavainen, we got Pinar in there. That's a pretty cheap guy to go after. We got Owen Tippett, Eberle, Andreas Anthony, Nemastankinov. So definitely nobody super fantastic unless you're really looking at Eli Talavainen. But I mean, last year, what he had, 63. This guy's nowhere near worth $10 million for the amount of points that he puts up. Dylan Strome is the guy that's worth $10 million, but definitely not Eli Talavainen. Owen Tippett you got as well, but there's nobody really fantastic that takes away like my breath and be like, oh my god, that's a stunning player right there. Owen Tippett. Yeah, there's nobody that's like fucking, I mean, unless you go after like a Gabe Vilardi for fuck's sakes, but there's nobody that really grabs my grasp of being a perfect player for the Chicago Blackhawks this year. I feel like we're definitely going to have to make a big blockbuster move to really affect this team and help us out. We need a big defenseman to play on that top four alongside of Brady Skjei, and we need a playmaker and maybe even another player to kind of make us a bit deeper this year. And we're going to have to look for that big trade. So let's see what we got here for trading aspects, because I'll leave this up to you guys. This has been a big... It was a big drive day picking up Jorgen. Jamie Benn, you got Ryan Strome there. Nuge. Ryan Strome wouldn't be that bad. I mean, he's 32 years old, so he's not making us any younger, which is a problem. Same with Nuge there. He's not making us any younger. Unless you want to go for like a guy that's like Gabe Vilardi in free agency, but there's really nobody to trade for here. Is that because we want to get that like lowered salary cap. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking to get a fucking... We want to do what we did with Mickey. There we go. Jordan Kyrou and Ivan Barbashev. Kyrou, perfect defensively. Ivan Barbashev, even perfect. And 6.3, 5.750. Or that. See, those are some perfect fucking players right there. Jordan Kyrou, how well has he been doing with his career? 60 points last year. And he's a pretty good playmaker over the past numerous seasons. And I know, we're making a fucking trade with our divisional rival in the St. Louis Blues. But this team fits us up pretty fucking perfect. And so that's there. Ryan Johansson, he's 33 though. We got Radish, German Robisev. Got Stamkos down there. You got William Nylander, who can play centerman. So, William Nylander, that would be also an option to go after. And William Nylander, he puts up the points. And, I mean, he could fit on that second line. He's $8.2 million, so you would have to lower a lot of that salary cap. And also how well, what was I going to look at for Barbashev? Oh, yeah, they could play both. Yep, Barbashev could play on that second line. I mean, same with William Nylander. So, it's just whoever's cheaper. Kasperi Kapanen, we could also trade for him. Maybe him be a depth piece for this year. He's fucking laying in the points as well. And in Washington, you got Brady Skjei there, Andreas Johnsson. So that's what you're looking at there for a playmaker for that second line. But overall, what you're really going to be looking at is maybe we go after some kind of centerman in here. Do you go after a Gabe Vilardi, who is only 5.4750 for a little bit, right? Who's had 46 points, who in the past years had 64 points and had 10 points in 20 games. He can be a pretty good playmaker. He can pass that puck pretty well. Maybe that's a guy that we maybe go after in Gabe Vilardi, who can fit the second line, who could play. He could be that Jonathan Toews for the team, for fuck's sake. 6'3". He has that speed to go out there and be a little bit of a speedier player. And the type of player that I think would help out the team for sure. Who else do we got that could be an option for the team? I mean, how fast is Barbashev compared to a guy like William Nylander? Is William Nylander going to be faster than Gabe Vilardi? A little bit. He has 90 acceleration, just by like a very little bit for Gabe. And then St. Louis and Ivan Barbashev, 6 foot. He's practically the same speed. Kiru's slower. So I mean, you're looking at a pretty good damn player in. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I feel like definitely maybe Gabe Vilardi is a better decision, but I will leave this all up to you. We're gonna be having a vote of Gabriel Vilardi, Ivan Barbashev, and William Nylander. Those three guys that we're going to be looking at, they're all very young. Gabe Vilardi, probably the youngest, so we would be able to sign him for the longest time and have him on our team for a bit of time. Defensively, we're going to be either looking at Churn or Josh Morrissey. Josh Morrissey, shut down fucking defenseman. And I think will help the team out pretty well. Either that or we go after Jakob Chichurin and you get another pretty good shutdown defenseman. So we'll make that decision all in the next video. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, before I end off the video, is there any big prospects that we can sign to the team this year? Tracy, no one that's big like Bellamy was last year. Defensively, nobody big. I mean, you got Kevin Steen down there, whoever the fuck that guy's name is. And then you got a goaltender, but really nobody to go after. But for right now, guys, I'm going to sign off. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Also, tell me, guys, who in the comment section below who I should pick up, and either Ivan Barbashev, Gabriel Velarde, or William Nylander. You guys can choose in the comment section below. But right now, guys, I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios, amigos.